Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, they did it again. They did it again. This team, I gotta make sure there's something to disturb. This team, dude, I've never been so happy and excited with this team in my life than I am right now. It completely overrules 2019-20. The entire thing. I mean, 1, 8, and 6. Those were the amount of shots the Stars had in each period. 1 in the first, 8 in the second, and 6 in the third. The shots were 28-3 at one point in favor of the Flyers. This was total domination from this team. Total domination. And this all stems from this recent stretch of games. This Flyers team is hot, and they are so hot right now. 5 wins in a row, 6-3-1 in their last 10 games, 25-14-6, and they're 2 points out of first in the Metropolitan Division, 45 games played. Rangers have 2 games in hand. I don't even care. This team is so good, and I am so goddamn excited to keep watching the rest of the year, to keep watching how this goes. This is game 45, and they're in a playoff spot, and they're still playing well, and we're getting in the All-Star break. Man, I'm just, it's so exciting and so enticing to watch this team, and every game there's something to look forward to. Something. I mean, you dominate for an entire half of a game. They get a goal. The Flyers come right back with a couple, a good shifts, and then they get a power play late in the third period. They get a goal from that. OWEN TIPPETT, my goodness, what a goal on the 5th one. Holy hell. I mean, he dipsy doodle, backhand, spinorama, whatever you want to call it. He goes upstairs and just like, oh my God. And they just keep finding ways to win, and they're surprising me every night. It's not like they're winning these games by the skin of their teeth. They're dominating some of these teams. I mean, dominating. Like, they killed Dallas tonight. Oh, my God. The thing with this is when you're watching this, you probably think I'm a crazy person, but the reason I act this way is because I have never in my life seen a hockey team play as bad as they did these past couple of years. From 2020-21, the shortened COVID 56-game season, until last season, they were literally unwatchable. And I watched every game. I haven't missed a game in 10 years. And it's just one of those things that I still go back to with this team, is they just always have a response. And it's the biggest thing that you can have as a quality as a team. In my opinion, it is one of the biggest things you can have to make a playoff run and to make a playoff push. Because you can't do anything in the playoffs if you don't respond. Like, if you get scored on, you got to come back and have a good shift. If you don't have a good goaltender, you're screwed. If you don't have a good special teams power play penalty kill, you're screwed. If you don't score first a lot, you're screwed. If you don't take care of home ice advantage, you know what I'm talking about. That is the biggest thing, in my opinion, that this team has to go into the playoffs, is they always have an answer for whatever comes their way. And they have proven it and proven it again. I mean, since Drysdale's come in, it's been a really good mix, I think, and obviously he missed a couple of games, and same with Coots, and they both come back and don't even miss a beat. And my God, I mean, a 5-1 win over the Dallas Stars. Where do we begin in this one? Let's start with the lines here. So, again, lines are a little bit different. Flyers did go back with 11-7. They had 12-6 last game. Tippett, Couturier, Konechny, Forrester, Lawton, and Hathaway, Farabee, Frost, and Atkinson, and then Paling and Cates. Sanheim with Drysdale, Sealer with Walker, and then York and Risto and Zamula was the 7D. Sam Urson in net. I actually don't mind that. I know I did mention, at least at some point, these past couple of games of, how they've been kind of doing the one, Hart gets one, Urson gets another, and they kind of go with that pattern. So Urson will get this one. My guess is Hart on Saturday against the Avs. He played really good against them in Colorado before in this season. The Flyers had a 5-2 win in Colorado. and then on December 9th, and then Urson on Sunday. That's how I would do it. Because again, this is the first game of 3 and 4 again. And again, the first period was all Flyers. I mean, they really dominated. Shots were 15-1. The Stars had maybe 2-3 chances early. They had one shot on net, one from Pavelski, one from Sagan. That was a 2-on-1, and then a play in front for Pavelski. I'm like, oh god, here we go. And then the rest of the period was literally all Flyers. They didn't have a single shot on net. They had chances. They had some looks at the net, Dallas, but nothing that really led into any crazy scoring chance. The Flyers thought defended well. They moved the puck up the ice. They clogged the middle of the ice really well. I thought they shut down everything Dallas put towards them. The Flyers are always going to block a ton of shots, right? And they're always going to, be able to generate more from their defense, I think is the best way to put it. And, with 20 block shots for both teams tonight, and the Flyers are always around that 15 to 20 category. I mean, it's insane. Another game where they're good on faceoffs. Since the Drysdale's come in, since that deal, and since I believe it was the Minnesota game, off the top of my head, I have to double check. The Minnesota game. These last 4 games, the Flyers have either been even or winning the face-off percentage. Like, they've done really good these past couple of games in draws and be able to kind of generate from that. I think the one thing that's really benefited from the addition of Drysdale and using the other defensemen in any sort of way is that, it just seems like everybody is, flowing more. And the one thing that I really notice is the transitional play is really a lot. It feels faster. I mean, it was fast before, but it feels faster right now. I think it's because they're scoring so much and they're able to generate so much and they're playing so well, right? But they generated a ton of chances from, kind of off the rush, but from stop to start right at the Stars blue line. They won a ton of puck battles right in that area, and it generated the plays inside the zone that they kept pucks in, or they cycled it right back out and went right back in at Dallas. Ottinger was very good in this game. Unfortunately, he kind of just got blown up in the third period because Dallas just wasn't good tonight, and the Flyers were great. Again, like I said, all Flyers in that period. Case had a chance inside on the backhand. Then they had a good shift by the connecting kind of makeshift line after that. They just, again, like I said, forced a ton of chances, pressured the Stars line. Cates had another chance inside. It was a good pass by Forrester to get it to him. Sean Walker scores. What a pass by Morgan Frost. Oh my God, it's just the little things with Frost. I have said this all season long. He does the little things. He is eye-popping. He has such a good skill set. And since the Calgary game, where he essentially told Torts to go pound sand, he has been one of the best players on this team. And there is nothing to really argue with that. I'm going to pull it up right now. But the actual stat, and I apologize for not having this in front of me. It was just something that just came to my mind as I was obviously talking. The past couple of games, he's been good. And I think the one thing that I have noticed, and he has, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 points in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points in his last 7 games. And he's really put a good stretch of games together. He's been plus in all of these games. He was actually -2 against Montreal. But outside of all those other games, I thought that was a plus. Outside of all these other games, he's been a plus. He's +2 tonight, +1 against St. Louis. He was 0 against Winnipeg and Minnesota, 0 against Pitt, and then +1 against Calgary. He's done a really good job, I think, these past couple of games of really answering that bell. And what a pass there for Walker. I mean, Walker, that's his second snipe against Dallas. He had the one shorthanded in Dallas. Flyers really should have won that game, too. I was a little nervous for this game because I'm like, all right, Dallas, they've been playing well. They won 4 of their last 5. And I'm like, it's Dallas. I mean, when you look at them and you look at their team and you look at their offense and everybody that they have, and it felt like that last game in Philly, that last game in Dallas that they played against them earlier in the season, it was like, no matter what the Flyers did, it just felt like it wasn't good enough that night. And unfortunately, they ended up losing that game in overtime, and they had 3 shorthanded goals. But it was just one of those games where it's just like, oh, it sucks. You could have had a better outcome in that one. And Urson, he didn't face the puck a lot tonight in this game. So 1 shot for the Stars after the second period, and then Tippett scores. Dallas would get a power play before that. Flyers didn't give them anything, and then they went right down on the face-off, and Tippett sniped it to make it 2-0. I'm like, all right, here we go. They were dominating. Then they get a power play, couple good looks, shorthanded chance for rope by Hintz. It was essentially felt like a Flyers power play the entire game. Like, it felt like when the Flyers got a power play, they should have had 2 minutes of 5-on-3 time instead of 5-on-4, because it literally looked like it was 5-on-4 for literally half of the game. Ben and Sanheim get wrapped up. I don't know why that wasn't called. Power play here for the Flyers. It was a very sloppy power play. It was one of the ones that was like, oh my god, like it's one of the ones where when I've talked about the losses this year, and I've said, like, when literally I have sat there and I've been like, the power play continues to kind of cost them games. Like that was kind of what I'm thinking here. I'm like, great. They get a bad power play, and then they score. I'm just like, oh, my God, like, here we go. Like, I didn't want that to turn into another goal, and then they just kind of come right back and just take over the game from that point because they were sleepy all night. That doesn't happen, though. They had some pressure. Flyers bent, didn't break. Walker had a chance in tight. The Flyers get another power play. This one leads into the third period. Bam, 3-1. Cam Atkinson, that's his third goal in his last 3 games. It was a shot from Sanheim. Good setup by Drysdale. I mean, that's what I really like about Drysdale, is he really uses the open ice in front of him to create more space for whoever else is open, and he's obviously a very good passer. Good find there from Sanheim. It deflected off of Frost, then to Atkinson, deflects in, 3-1 Flyers. That's a huge goal. I mean, you needed that. You needed that goal. If Dallas ties that game, you probably lose, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not, but it just felt that way. If the Stars had tied it, that this game was over. Chances galore in front. Farabee gets hurt. Looked like he cut his nose, broke his nose. I didn't really know what was going on there. We'll have to see if there's any update on that. He did come back, so I'm assuming that's fine. Atkinson had a one-timer in the slot, 4-1. Lawton with a penalty shot goal, and he had a breakaway from about close to the red line, about the Stars' blue line in. And he got hooked, but went to try to go to the backhand. He almost skated backwards, but didn't. He just got enough on it. It slipped under Ottinger. That's the Flyers, I believe, second penalty shot goal of the year. Couturier had the other one against Vancouver in the home opener. I was actually at that game. And they get the penalty shot goal, and then Owen Tippett. I mean, my God. What a goal. I mean, the move, the skating, the silkiness, the all-in-one motion, just the flutter of the backhand. It goes top corner. It's just like, ugh. Konechny had that one against Columbus last season. He scored on the backhand top shelf down the left-hand wall. Kind of similar to where Tippett had scored, but it was more to the boards. That felt like the exact same way. Like, that was just disgusting. I mean, it's just another game for this team where they just find a way to not just win, but dominate. I mean, you only gave up 15 shots on goal to the Dallas Stars. Like, and I get it, Dallas was sleepy, but you dominated them. Like, this wasn't just like I know you could definitely say that Dallas didn't play great, but Flyers, man, I mean, just what a game, what an effort, and they're rolling right now. 5-game win streak. Couple good games this weekend. You got the Avs on Saturday, doing a watch party here on YouTube for that game. It should be a ton of fun. And then we got the game Sunday at 1 o'clock. I will be at that game against the Ottawa Senators. Thanks everybody again for all the support. As always, make sure to check out Maher Media for all the things that we do over there. We got a ton of stuff from articles, videos like this one. The watch party, like I mentioned, is I'll do streams sometimes for certain games throughout the year. We got again, like I said, written content for everything that's Flyers, Phantoms, even some NHL stuff is sprinkled in our Twitter and our social media, Instagram. We have a Flyers Heritage account, all that stuff. Our podcast, Four Fly Guys, everything. So thanks everybody again for all the support. As always, make sure to check out everything that I just said. My name is Chris, and I will talk to you all again soon.